Welcome back to IGN Live, coming to you from Gamescom in Germany. I'm Damon Hatfield. I'm joined by Fran Mirabella.
What's up, Damon?
Filippo from Nintendo Europe.
Hey.
We're going to take a look at the new Kirby for Wii U.
Yeah, it's a really interesting game if you've seen it. It's inspired actually right by Kirby and the Canvas Curse for DS,
Yes,
right?
exactly. It uses the same touch-based mechanics using the touchscreen on the gamepad screen. You actually tap on Kirby, like we see here, to make him move.
You double tap his body, is that right?
You just tap once and he
once,
starts
and he
rolling, and he has these blue sparks that means that he can attack enemies. But the other part is here, so you draw this rainbow line, and you basically guide Kirby through the levels.
And this is the first level, right?
Yeah,
so
it's
that
the very first.
dotted line wasn't always there, right? I mean, you don't see that all the time.
No, it's basically the game is explaining you how to
Yeah.
start
play it.
and play the game.
Right.
And also it's a demo, so of course it needs a bit more hand-holding than the full game. So you basically travel the world by directing Kirby with this rainbow line, and the rainbow line is temporary. It doesn't it disappears after a while, and you're supposed to collect all the stars that you see.
And those are adding out of the 100 up there. That you're
Yes,
trying to get.
exactly. That's related to a special power that Kirby has in this game that we will see shortly.
Okay.
Also, something that's entirely unique to this game is its art style. That's inspired by clay, and it looks really gorgeous, I have to say.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look a little touchable. It looks very
Yes.
much like clay.
Exactly. So here, as usual, we go through doors to go through different parts of the levels, like in Kirby games.
Yeah,
and
and
then
it
we
is
start to see what I meant before about the special power that
you got
Kirby
one
have.
right here.
So now that I have 100 of the stars, or whenever I get one of those big stars, I charge up. You can see this circle on Kirby, and if I hold my stylus onto Kirby, it becomes much bigger and he has this giant power.
So if you didn't have that star there, though, could you get through? Yeah, you just got to keep running into those walls.
No, in those walls that are made of clay that looks more like metal or
I see.
stone, you have to use the special power to destroy them. But that's why there's a big star there.
Right.
Basically, you can either get a big star or collect 100 of them, and you can also accumulate this power. So you can have 2 rings around you. That means that you have
Even
2
stronger.
uses of the special move.
Yeah.
So you can. I've seen in the demo. I've seen up to 4, I think.
wow.
So you can really store them and use them when you think it's
Yeah,
best.
there's each ring is basically stored up to use once, right?
Once, yes, exactly.
So when he bounced off the wall there, you had used one, is that right?
Yeah, as I accumulated 2, I just wanted to use the second one.
Gotcha. How do you know how far you can draw the line? It just sort of ends and you want to draw it as far as possible, or?
So you might notice that when the line is being drawn, the gauge on the upper left side of the
yes.
screen basically goes down and then quickly refills.
Putting on his goggles is a nice touch when he goes in the water.
Yeah, of course. Well, he has to see underwater.
Of course.
This level is all underwater, takes place underwater, and one of the challenges is trying to navigate Kirby through the currents. You can see these air bubbles that indicate very strong air currents that push Kirby in a certain direction.
Right. So when you're underwater, it's just a little more floaty, is that right?
Yes,
and
actually.
then the bubbles will sort of push you up or down.
So before, when I was on the ground, I mostly had to draw lines below Kirby to direct him. Here, I have to mostly draw lines above Kirby because he will naturally tend to float over to the surface. So in order to direct him, I have to draw lines above him.
Pull the
also
old switcheroo on everybody.
Yeah.
That's I see.
Exactly. Those pots of rainbow ink that I'm collecting basically refill the rainbow gauge.
So it refills on its own. It's just to increase, obviously, how fast.
Exactly.
Things seem to be getting a little harder now, right? As we
Yes, actually, I have to say this is the hardest level I ever played in any Kirby game ever. And the currents really drive you toward those spikes that you have to avoid.
I think you're doing a good job.
Yeah, I'm trying to collect all the stars in the meantime. Of course, this game does not have a timer like a Mario game, for example.
Yeah. Right.
But that means that the difficulty lies also in finding all the secrets and collecting everything. in the game.
Yeah, and I was going to ask about that.
That was the current that they couldn't stop.
Yeah, I know. Here, I remember I kind of get caught up in this loop for a little bit. So like many Nintendo games and old school games like this, are there sort of secret areas you can find and are rewarded for? Like right now, it seems you've kind of been following a linear
Actually,
path. But
in the first level of the demo, you can find a secret area.
okay, so you're definitely
that's timed. You can collect bonuses and like classic Kirby.
so you can explore a little. Is the point?
Yeah.
It's not completely
Exactly.
sort of just floating in one direction, right?
Yeah, and also another big element that is typical of Kirby games is transformations.
Right.
So Kirby doesn't have copy abilities in this game, but he can transform into different things, and also to change the gameplay to give more variation into the mechanic. So also the underwater, we already announced that he can become a rocket, a submarine, and a tank.
We don't see that in this footage yet, though, right?
We see the tank.
okay, it's coming up still.
Yeah.
So there's no direct control of Kirby.
Yeah,
this
you
game.
can tap on him to basically make him able to do damage, to
Okay.
do things, and you can draw the line on the gamepad touchscreen to direct him.
Right.
Yeah, and what I thought was interesting too, and maybe you could comment on this, Filippo, is you're looking at the gamepad quite a bit.
Yes.
Should players, be thinking that mostly they're on the gamepad? How does the experience actually play out?
Well, I've actually seen people in Canvas Curse and in this version that are so well trained at their hand-eye movement that are actually looking at the TV screen. They simply know where they're drawing. Of course,
It's like a mouse on your computer. You kind of
exactly.
almost feel it out.
Of course, when you first play, it's better if you look at the gamepad screen.
Yeah.
But also on the big TV screen, you also see all these clay effects that look so gorgeous. So it's also a spectacle for the people that are watching you play.
Yeah, because I was like, why not just make this for the 3DS? It's already there in front of you. Do you think it's something to do with the social experience that Nintendo talks about? Is everyone in the living room participating? That looks nice.
That's actually quite a good proposal. I think I'm curious to know myself.
Yeah.
But so far, I know that this is what the team that is in charge of Kirby is focusing on right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm kind of curious if they're going to add, kind of like in Mario Galaxy. You have another player. Oh, there's the tank.
Here's the tank.
You obviously other people could participate with you, which would be interesting. So yeah, tell us about what's going on with the tank. How did you use the power? Was it just sitting there for
So
you?
the tank works a bit differently in the sense that when you tap on him, it does a rapid dash forward. But to attack, you have to tap on what you want to attack, and he would shoot this clay fire that attacks enemies.
I like this.
Also, this level has this balloon that I have to pop with the tank, that also to add different elements to the gameplay again. And here you will see what happens when I use a special power as a tank. When I'm trying to get that treasure chest that's in front of me. Look at Kirby
wow.
now. It becomes a giant missile launcher Kirby.
It was completely necessary. I'm sure.
No other way.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, and then we have some new enemies right here.
Yes. Actually, these ones are pretty hard because all the ones I've met in this level until now, they just I just need one hit, and for this one I need to hit them multiple times, so it becomes a little harder. Then it becomes quite the screen becomes quite filled.
Yeah, it's
with
interesting
enemies
that
now.
It kind of becomes a shooter for a little bit, but you can still draw the yarn.
Yes, I can
the
still
rainbow
draw
at
it.
this point.
It's just I'm focusing on trying to get everybody, so I'm not using so much of the rainbow line, basically.
Right, and you still have your power stored up here, right?
Yes, I have it, and I actually do need to use it later on.
Yeah. Are there boss characters in the game?
Yeah, well, you can see in the trailer, you can see, the most classic boss from Kirby games, which is the giant tree.
Right.
And, there will be other boss characters for sure.
I would expect that. So.
Let's say here, I have to be careful because you can see I'm starting to use the rainbow power. But I also I don't have to go crazy with shooting because I can shoot one of those spiky bits and damage myself.
So you're still the tank in this level. Would you say, like, how do the levels changed? You know, is it intentionally different? Like this is more of a shooter.
Yeah.
You were swimming in the others. Do they try to change every level? Is that
So
sort of
yeah,
the
we're
concept?
trying to offer, we're trying to use Kirby's transformations to offer variation in the gameplay, so that and the demo is a hint, of course, that you know there is different gameplay types in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it looks great, and obviously it runs in 1080p like the rest of the Wii U catalog. Is that right?
Well, I don't think I have
That confirmation
I have the
necessarily.
information.
Well, it
yet,
looks like it does. So. And
well,
this-
it certainly looks great.
yeah, it does.
Yeah, I love that they nailed that claymation look, and I
Yeah.
love that Nintendo will experiment with that different visual styles. Like Kirby Epic Yarn also looks amazing, right?
Yeah.
And Yarn Yoshi, which is also going to be on the show here.
Yeah.
It's just,
I do like that they
we
experiment
use
with
Kirby a little bit to experiment new things
Yeah.
sometimes in our games. Yes.
is there a release window for the new Kirby on Wii U?
This game will release in 2015.
Yeah.
2015. All right. Filippo,
looking
thank you so
forward
much
to it.
for coming by the
Thank
show.
you.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. More to come from IGN Live at Gamescom in Germany, presented by Dead Island 2 after this.